Oh, it's an exciting day. We got a car here. It's got a little delivery. One of our cows has come home. Let's talk about it. All right, so Randy, he's one of our viewers, and he contacted us last year about coming to help breed our cows, because that's what he does. But breed our cow Dolly and to breed our heifer Maisie. And today we get one of them back. We're gonna talk about why only one, but it's a really exciting day. You're doing good, you're doing good. You're curving away from it. You can keep curving it if you want. At worst case scenario, we can open up the fence somewhere. We'll just go here, that's fine. Yeah, we can just go here. I think we're just gonna let her out here because it's a little slick. Hey, we know you. We know you. All right, let me turn this fence off. We'll let her out and then we'll talk to you about what's happening here. So we've had Dolly here on the farm for the last almost 2 years. And so what was the whole point of this, the mission of this was to get our cow bred, was to get her AI done, because we tried it 3 times over the past year and a half.
Hi, girl.
You're back.
She has no winter coat.
So what happens when a cow comes home?
Okay, so when I first get cows in, it's the first time to be back in a pasture. What they normally do is they'll run all the way around the pasture, look to see if you left a gate open or a fence is down. Then they'll find the feed, the water, and then they'll start fighting to get a pecking order. So that's pretty normal.
Now, Mazla is supposed to be in heat in the next day or 2, or even today maybe?
Yeah, we expect her very soon. Within the next 3 days, I would expect.
Okay. And so we probably spent about $1,000 when it was all said and done over the three times, and it wasn't working out.
Hi, Dolly. Hi, Dolly.
And so when Randy saw our video about us struggling to get both cows bred, he offered to help. And that's what he does, is he breeds cows down in southern Texas. And so he took Dolly and Maisie down there. He still has Maisie, but now Dolly's back. It took him longer than expected, but there's some reasons for that, with just stress levels of transferring cows and getting their weight and their diet regulated. So I think Randy will explain that to us on what happened. But so what did it take, or what happened with Dolly? I guess
So Dolly is actually pretty easy to breed. She's a mature cow. She's had heats. She really wasn't much of a problem. The issues we had were external. We had weather events. We had problems with semen that we got from the distributor. We had quite a few things going on, so she's been quite the ride. But the first time we got a really good chance to breed her, she took, so she's really not difficult.
That's right. After 2 years and 6 rounds of AI,
and it says open.
Dolly is finally pregnant.
She's pregnant.
And we could not be more excited about it.
Are you gonna be buddies? I'm surprised you guys didn't fight.
They never got to be together when you came before. We just...
No, we were only here for like, what, 30 minutes or something like that?
We let Mazla and Wild out, and then we came and picked
Loaded them all up.
Dolly and Maisie up, and they never were together with them. So what's your fear with stress on pregnancies when traveling?
It's a long way. That's a lot of stress, and stress sometimes causes a lot of problems as far as miscarriages and things like that. I try to be really careful with her. In fact, we used a different truck this time, a much lighter, half-ton truck. It's a much softer ride, specifically for her. Yeah, and then I gave her breaks. Like every 2 hours or so, I would stop and let her rest for an hour. That's why it took so long. It took me 2 days to get here. But she seems fine.
Now, are we gonna show me how to do a pregnancy check, pregnancy test while we're here?
We're gonna pull blood.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
If you guys saw my videos maybe a year ago, it did not go so well. So I'm glad I've got a pro here to show me.
But
come on, you're a pro.
I can make her bleed. I don't know
I
if
can
she'll like it or not.
I can make her bleed. That's not the problem. And then you're hanging around in town for a few days because you're gonna breed Mazla.
We're gonna try to catch Mazla in heat and breed her. Hopefully Dolly will work as a spotter bull for us, and we'll just watch and see.
We got our first pheasant egg of the year. How exciting! What's going on in the greenhouse?
Not much. I'm not real happy with the way these are coming up. I have like one watermelon up over there. Planted that a long time ago. that cold weather really stunted it. Well, I started tomatoes inside, and the tomato inside is this tall. And I started these way before that one, so I would expect they would at least be the same size.
Joey, no. Hey, Dolly. Good morning. There's Masla. It's milking day, and so we left them out. There's Wild. So we've got Dolly and Masla together because we need to see when Masla's ready to be bred. Ready to come in? So that's what Randy wants to do before he heads back to Texas. So today we've got to try to figure out a way to get Masla in to milk her. So we'll see if enticing her with food and not having her locked in at night, if that'll work today. Oh, shoot! Right. So we've got Dolly out here, we've got Masla in here, and now we can walk her in.
Come on, girl.
Come on.
Well, we're having issues with getting Dolly pregnant, and we really love the milk, fresh milk on our farm, and so we've really appreciated having Masla here to substitute for Dolly having milk. So this has been such a blessing. Masla is so well-tempered, such a great cow, and she gives us such good milk.
Alright, now we're all done milking. So now we just wait and see for signs of heat. Randy will come back and we'll be ready to get Masla bred. We've got a few more things to do before he ends up taking off. Alright, so Wild's about to leave the farm, so we're going to load her up today. So she's helped us with Masla to keep her in milk on our off days. But now we're going to send her home with Randy, so we're going to see if we can get her loaded up here into the trailer. Oh, darn it. Alright, so we've got to get her and Masla back in. She got through the corner and entice Masla back in with some feed. Masla! Alright, Wild. You ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Well, at least she's just in there, so that's alright. Alright, it's gotten a little crazy. We got Dolly in, got Masla out. Now we're getting Wild back in. We're going to try for a third time. See if we can do it. Hey, there we go.
Oh man!
What are we testing?
We're gonna do a preg test just to make sure that her levels are a little bit higher than when I tested them. Just to make sure she's still bred, everything is good. You see on this side, there's a little lump, like a long, and on the other side, there's another one.
I don't feel a lump. I just feel the middle.
So there's two straight like muscles going this way. So on one side you'll feel it, and on the other side you'll feel another one. Okay. They're parallel to one another.
Okay.
In the center you'll feel a soft spot. If you move your finger slightly, you'll feel it roll. That is a blood vessel. So the reason is you can pull this, and if she pulls away, you lose your vacuum. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Right there on it. See if she pulled it out.
Coming out.
Oh, that's from me.
Did you get stuck?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Suction. I'm in the right spot. He's flowing like molasses. It's right there on it. I think she flattened out on me.
What the heck?
Okay, we have enough to do blood.
Is that enough?
Yeah, all you need is 2 cc's. We got 1 3/4. That's enough. Guess we'll take one of these. And that's all you need for a blood test.
Thank you, Dolly. So what'd you learn from that?
That is a crazy thing. I don't think I'm gonna ever do that. No.
The only discharge I saw was the first day we came.
So after hanging around for about 3 days, Randy ended up leaving with Wild, the calf. He was hoping to breed Masla, but she never came into heat while we were there. Even though we had been keeping track of her cycles, it just didn't work out. And so he's gonna miss getting a calf from Masla this year, since we're gonna keep her till later this year. But Randy took off with Wild. We're so grateful that he brought Dolly back to us.
So while I've got Dolly here, I want to talk about Maisie, her calf. Maisie is now, she's going to be 2 years old in about a month and a half. When we sent her down there, we had tried AI on her one time this past year, and then we had the pregnancy check and it didn't work. And so after talking with Randy, we realized we made some mistakes with that. The biggest one was having the AI tech and the veterinarian was to have them use the shots. And so since she hadn't naturally conceived in the past, and then trying to do that through a vet and through hormone shots, that would make her body dependent on that. And we didn't realize that. And the vets and the AI tech were just doing what we wanted, and we were just trying to get them pregnant. And so I can't fully blame them because they were just doing what we asked them to do, and we didn't know that we were messing it up. And so by doing that, that kind of delayed some of the development of Maisie. And so when Randy went to AI her, he had a lot of problems and noticed that she just really hadn't developed enough. And so for being about a year and 9 months, a year and 10 months old, she just had not developed that way, and she was about 6 months behind. And so he said he's really just going to let her grow up, develop more as a lady cow, and that she would be ready here in the next month or two to start, now that she'd be about 2 years old, that she'd be developed enough to breed her via AI. The plan is to do the AI here April, May, June. Hopefully that'll take, and then she would calve next spring, but he would bring her back somewhere around September, and then he would take Masla then. And so we would be out of milk just for a couple months, because if everything goes well with this pregnancy for Dolly, she would calve somewhere in like October, November, and so we'd only be out of milk for maybe a month or two, and that'd just give us a little bit of a break. That'd be totally fine. She'd calve, and then we'd be able to start getting some milk along with the calf, and then sometime next spring, then Maisie would calve. And so we hope to see Maisie again in September, and then Masla will get to go home with Randy at that time. But until then, we're so grateful that Randy has made these trips for us, that he brought us one of his cows, brought us his favorite cow, Masla, and that we've gotten her milk during this time and over the next year, because we've really enjoyed it.
I have the Bielefelder.
This is Beth, the Bielefelder.
All right, so last but not least, we've got our blood draw from Dolly. We need to send this away to check that she's still pregnant after the trip. Got our little sticker on there so we can tell that it's for Dolly. Matches with our documentation. We're rolling it up inside paper towel so it won't break. Put it into our bag, and then we put that inside some bubble wrap. We're gonna send that away to somewhere in Kansas. We'll find out if she's pregnant in 1 to 2 weeks. Wish us luck. Ooh, it's just a couple days later and we got our results back. And our previous results were 0.779 were the numbers. Basically, if the numbers are that or higher, then we've still got development. If it's lower than that, maybe something happened during that trip home. I see it right away. I see pregnant. That's good. I see 0.75. It's slightly lower than it was before. Hopefully everything's okay. We'll check with Randy on what that number means for us. We'll see you next time.